Hello, everyone. We are here with Frank Muller from Playmobil.Pro. He has allocated some time to share with us a little bit about the Playmobil.Pro kit and his role, and we can get to know him a little bit more, get to know what the kit is about, get to know what is the future. So, Frank, welcome. Please tell us a little bit about who you are and your role at Playmobil.Pro.
Well, thank you, Juan, for invitation to the Skype call. And yeah, we just said men can fly on the moon and women, of course, but we're not able to to attend a Skype meeting due to technical problems. So I'm sorry for being late. So I'm Frank, working for Playmobil since 3 years. So I do have some kind of a dream job, I have to say, because I'm working with kids, I'm working with toys, and I can be creative and can think of future products which will be on shelves and so on. So in my role, I'm the head of business development for Playmobil. And I'm looking for new business opportunities, to be honest. So beside our core line, Playmobil toys for kids, and I'm looking for new possibilities, for new target groups, for example. So for example, can Playmobil with his offer and with his service, can we target a younger target group? So we are looking into, for example, the baby and infant category.
Wow.
So having cool and nice Playmobil baby items could be a next big thing for us. As well, getting a bit older and targeting an older target group. So we have been thinking about having Playmobil collectors figures a bit taller, 15 centimeters, with cool license, for example, with Ghostbusters, but also could be Back to the Future and other things, and could be really nice.
Cool.
But as well, looking for opportunities in the business sector. And that's why we are talking a little bit about Playmobil.Pro, I think, in the next few minutes, right?
Well, I'm pretty sure that you are quite busy in the Christmas season with all the presents going around. Playmobil is for sure a hot item in every kid's tree.
It is, but to be honest, now it's getting quieter, or it's getting more quiet because everything has to be on shelf already in July, August, September, and so all the tough work will be done in summertime, actually. So
All right. Well, I'm pretty happy. I just received more than 30 boxes that we're going to use in our upcoming workshop. So I'm pretty happy to have already tested and tried Playmobil.Pro. Tell me a little bit about the history. How did Playmobil.Pro came to be?
Well, actually, what we have found out, or what we have seen, is that Playmobil will be used already in workshops. And so if you Google, for example, Playmobil in creative workshops or just workshops, you will find tons of nice images and comments how Playmobil can be supportive for workshops.
Right.
And we received a lot of feedback and say, do you have, before somebody steal all the Playmobil toys from their son or from their daughter in the playroom or the kids room, are you not able to offer something we can use in a more professional context? So what you can see here is one of the first prototypes, actually, of Playmobil.Pro. So we went into the construction market and look out for a case where we can place some Playmobil figures and accessories. And we included a lot of companies, international companies. So we asked innovation manager and workshop facilitators, freelancers from different categories. For example, University of Management in Barcelona. We talked to to a business faculty in London. We talked to Adidas, to Bosch, to Siemens, to Mercedes-Benz, and we all sent them one kit of Playmobil.Pro and asked them to include them into their workshops and feedback their.
So kind of a quick prototype. You used kind of a design thinking mentality and did a fast prototyping to just get a lot of information, understand what the user needs were, get the feedback from real users that were using it, and improve upon that, right?
Exactly. That's how we wanted to use it. So we have been into the design thinking approach. So we use a lot of desktop research. So what kind of method, what kind of need is actually on the market, and then as you say, like quick prototyping, sending out to the consumers, get the feedback, and then trying to iterate the final product together with the consumer. That was the main task for us.
So there is quite a leap, but not so much. So you can still see the resemblance between the first prototype and the new box. But I think that you learn a lot from point A to point B, because clearly it's you hit the nail in the head with the model that you have right now, since it's everyone is talking about it, and it's beautiful. You have it right next to the prototype, and you can see how much has improved since the first prototype.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it was not a linear process. I mean, we also received critical feedback, which was really, really good for me. I mean, hard for us because, I mean, we put a lot of thoughts into the prototype, and then to hear some negative feedback was also quite challenging. But I give you a nice example. For example, on the first prototype, we included a Native American. So for us, European, or especially like Germany, raising up with Winnetou and all Karl May novelties and blah. So a Native American, talking in terms of metaphor, is something, is a leader and guiding a team, and you can input so much into this character. But of course, for the US citizens, it's quite cultural appropriated. So we received a lot of feedback on this, and that's good. Before getting out on the market with a figure which is maybe not so appropriate, then we put it out. So
that's great. I think that shows how important it is to put the user in the center of the design thinking process, since they are the ones who can give the feedback that maybe challenges a lot of the beliefs that we as designers may have when they are designing a new product.
Yeah, exactly. And as you said, we received really, really nice feedback. So what we also did is we posted early stage video on LinkedIn, and say, this could be a set for professional purpose. What do you think? There was a 1 minute video, and this was also last year or this year in February, close to Toy Fair, like the biggest toy fair in Nuremberg. So it drove a lot of attention, and between, I think, 1.5 weeks, we get 30,000 views on it, with a lot of comments, feedbacks, and drove a lot of attention. But it was, of course, it was some kind of a risk because we didn't have any product yet, and we just said, like, okay, this is our prototype. This how Playmobil can be used in workshops, and how it can be supportive. And it was a blast. Like, we received like really, really positive and huge feedback. So
I think that it's great that you're sharing that, because a lot of people that are thinking of new products, where there's services or maybe workshops or any kind of product that they are designing, they are thinking, well, I have to really test everything first and do all these steps, and then once I have everything in place, I have to start communicating. And you, as a huge company all over the world, shipping millions of toys all around the world, you're showing that this can be done in a much agile way, where you gather feedback and this co-design with the feedback that you receive from the user. So I think it's an amazing example of a living design thinking process within a big company, right?
Yeah, and we were lucky that we received such good feedback, and it's of course as well a good example in-house for Playmobil, also for our toy line, and to be much closer as well to our kids, provide them with prototypes, include them into the process, and this is something I think we're good, but something we can learn much more, and could be good example.
Awesome. So tell me a little about how the kit is now. What does the kit have inside? What are you receiving when you buy a kit? What do you get? There are tons of figures inside, so I don't expect you to describe the 480 pieces that are inside.
Yeah.
But what are the main things that are in the kit?
Well, first of all, it comes in a nice case. It's pretty heavy, to be honest. So it will be 8 kilos. You have experience probably. So you get strong after carrying one case to
Yes.
workshops. But it's a nice case, and one really benefit of this case is like it's stable. You can carry it to your workshops, and the pieces will not be lost. So you have a nice looking carry case with 4 sets actually, and as I say, 4 sets contain about 480 pieces. So of course, center of Playmobil.Pro and of Playmobil is the figure. So this will be the main case.
So if you can show that again, because you mentioned they don't fall, but you did a clever thing with the industrial design there, where even if you tip a little bit the box, the shelves won't fall. I think that was really smart. So if you can show that, even if you put it a little bit forward, they don't fall because of the clever
so
design.
it
They
doesn't
don't fall.
fall.
So I think that's so useful because when you carry things around, you're not like having everything steady in the same place.
Yeah.
So all these small details make the user experience so much better.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to tip it a little bit up, and then it's easy. You can put it out. So you have 4 sets. The first set is, of course, with our focus and with our priority. It's with the Playmobil figure.
Yes.
And the main thing we learned from the design thinking process, and I think it's still going on. It's not finished, but something we learned in the first iterating phase was that when we're using normal Playmobil figure, like a clown, a construction worker, a princess, and so on, some of the managers or some of the workshop participants said it's too childish and it reminds me too much of a toy.
Right.
And that's what we thought, okay, why are we not having blank figures, blank white figures? And the big advantage of this figures is you can have a non-permanent pen and actually write on them, and then you can mark them, you can make faces, expressions.
And that is huge, right? Because suddenly, instead of having just a cowboy or a construction worker, you can have anything you want. So the possibilities that drawing on a figure gives you, and if you have 16 figures, for example, and they all can change, are practically endless, right?
Exactly, and that's exactly referring to the normal Playmobil toy. This is how kids play. I mean, they let Princessin fly to the moon, and so imagination is endless. And even with this blank figure, you can make you can do everything you like out of this figure.
Yes, I think that this is such an important part of the kit, and it was such a success when we started to try it out in our workshops, that you can draw on them and then you can erase and then you can draw something new, and that flexibility and that evolving nature of the figures, it completely changes how you play with them.
I
So
think
what else
it's
is it?
so It contains a lot of figures, men, female, kids, and babies.
Yes.
So you're quite flexible. And with this set, there are a lot of animals coming with.
Yes.
So that this is something we experience as well. When using, for example, for HR purpose, and say, okay, tell me, how does the team look like? Who is responsible for what kind of role do you have, and describe it with an animal?
Yeah.
So you have endless possibilities, and there's really a nice description with the smile there.
Yes,
so
that's when you switch from a literal model to a metaphor, and then again everything expands. And that's also a very nice design of the set, where you can take the entire box off, not only the figures, but you can have different boxes, and you can set up boxes for the different participants. So also gives you a lot of possibilities when you use the boxes as individual placeholders.
Yeah, definitely, and it's really funny, and it's a good icebreaker, to be honest. I mean, if you have a workshop with participants, they don't know each other, so we use it quite often as an icebreaker for introduction rounds. So have a figure, first try to describe yourself with a figure or with an animal. Try to put in head or a cape on you, write on it, make a face impression, and then tell it to your neighbor.
A hat and a cape. You read my mind.
Nice, exactly. So this is a quite nice icebreaker. And
I think that one of the things that I really appreciate about the kit is you could get into very deep applications where people get they can even transform their life from a session, but also has these quick things that you can do that take a couple of minutes and that can completely change the mood in a room.
Yeah, definitely, and this is something we experience quite often, and it's really fun. I mean, it's something you do it with a smile, and that's I think one main part of the Playmobil.Pro set. So that's the first set. The other two sets contain accessories and props. So the second set include a lot of accessories from Playmobil that can add to the figure. So, for example, capes, hats, crowns, something you can put into the hands. You can
instruments, tools, yes.
Exactly. So also a lot of possibilities, and really nice. So a lot of little heads. Hopefully this will not be used quite often.
Well, you will be surprised how people describe co-workers in their company.
Exactly, but some weapons, and a lot of capes. And think about in creativity, having the method of the 6 thinking hat.
Yes.
And it's something you can do with Playmobil.Pro as well, like in a really nice style. Having 6 figures with different roles, and have a paper write on it, write on the figure, put them some things in the hand, and trying to describe what kind of position do you have. And it's really nice tool.
I used to be a trainer a long time ago for the Mono Thinking system, and I train people in the 6 thinking hat method.
Nice.
And when I saw the hats, immediately came to mind, hey, I can have the 6 figures for the 6 hats, and that again, it gives some physicality for an abstract concept that completely changes how you talk and how you work with other people when you have an physical object instead of just a drawing or a diagram or a picture.
Exactly. This is something we also experience, and some really nice way that people can really dig into the character and then characterize it in a really nice visual way.
Yes. Well, in a way, you can have unlimited hats. You have the 6 thinking hats, but that's the springboard to have many other hats that are yet to be invented.
Yeah, exactly. The third set is all about creating a world. So the second one was more about building the figure, and this is something build the world around it. So you have some bicycles, some shopping cart, a life ring, money. I mean, some chairs, balls, and so on and so forth. So tons of
And even you
accessories.
have computers that you can write on their screen, you know what messages are there, right? So
Exactly. We do have all as well a drone. Have you seen this one?
yes, I've seen the drone, yes.
And coming to the end, the last one is all about stationery. So everything you might need for your workshop. So we do have some post-its which you can put on. We do have some non-permanent pens included and some wipes, and actually some tapes as well.
Yeah.
This is something we use at Playmobil to show what kind of project or what kind of stage the project is.
Right.
So you can have your complete table in the conference room, put the tape out and say, okay, that was the beginning, that's the end, what's all in between. Try to visualize it with Playmobil, where's some dead and where do I need help and everything. And it's a wonderful tool to visualize your project.
And I think that stationery, you are working on refills for people that deplete their stationery, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be very useful because a lot of the intense users, you know, we use the tape really often. It's a wonderful tool, and also the markers. So it's great to have those to refill us. I think that the good thing about the Playmobil set is that you can use it over and over again, erase over and over again, and that gives these endless possibilities and also endless workshops that you can use them.
Exactly.
So great. I think that the kit is amazing. I have tried myself with one-to-one and one-to-many sessions, and we have an upcoming project where we're trying it with educators from 26 schools. So business, we're doing onboarding for companies with Playmobil. We're doing innovation workshops, so all kind of uses. But I know that this is not the end. This is just the beginning for Playmobil.Pro. And you're developing new stuff. Can you tell us? I don't ask you to share all the details of the new stuff that you're designing, because of course you want to keep it a secret. But can you give us a glimpse of what is the future of Playmobil.Pro products?
Yes, of course. I mean, what we are trying to expand is are the possibilities or the templates we can provide that Playmobil.Pro can be used. So we know it's for like all person related issues. Playmobil.Pro can be a really good supportive modeling kit. For example, for all HR topics, but also for marketing, communication, and innovation, creativity, and to support the team or the workshop participant or the facilitator. We also offer some templates for to download. And for example, the business model canvas or personas for marketing purpose. So good template we experienced by ourselves how you can place Playmobil on top of it.
Yes, and those are free, and you can download them right now from the website.
It's already there, some of them, and we will try to expand the line.
And also, there is an app, right, that you're using. There is a mobile app.
There's a mobile app which is already on the market, and but we have to say it's still in some kind of a prototyping stage. We are asking the users for feedback, and we do have an idea that I mean the app should cover the result of your workshop.
Right.
And you can have these little speech bubbles where you can type in, okay, I was the king because I lead the team, and so on. So it keeps you a good memory of the workshop results, and something you can share with the with your participants. but it's an early stage. We have to work on this a little bit more.
Well, I think that that's part of the courage that you are showing in making all the community co-design things and provide feedback and be in constant contact and not just be a passive looker and what are they doing, but more, hey, what if you, what if you do this, or what if we do that, or what if we include that? And I think that that's the best way to design a product like yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're trying to establish. And there's a really good and nice community which is really active, including you as a premium member. But we do have a lot of followers within the last 4 months since we are on the market with the basic set, and we can see that. People who already have Playmobil.Pro are sharing their results with the community, with the hashtag Playmobil.Pro on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And it's wonderful to see like in which ways Playmobil can be used and has been used, and that the customers and consumers are sharing with the community.
Is there anything that when you heard some of the uses, or maybe when you use it in your own company, when you're doing some of this process, do you have any anecdote or any use that surprised you because of how it worked, or the insights that you got from it, or the feedback from the participants? I mean, you have been showcasing this in many countries, in many conferences. So do you have any anecdote that you want to share about that?
That's a good question. So we, for example, use Playmobil.Pro in our process to develop a new product line for the year 2022 already. So Playmobil.Pro has been in use of this. There were so many good ideas coming out while visualizing new themes and new topics and trying to masquerade those figures, and while doing this in the process, there are new ideas coming up. So you have this idea placing here, and then new ideas coming up. So it's a process actually. That's also the feedback we are receiving. It's not
just give some physicality to your imagination, but in that process your imagination expands too, and you get many more ideas just by the fact that you're playing while you're doing it. There is something about play, right? There is something about play that is so inside everyone and that engages imagination and creativity for any adult.
Yeah, definitely. It's about gamification, to play with something, to have something physical in your hand. I mean, there's some quote that you only learn 20%, I think, of what you hear. I think 40% only if you can see it. There's more percentage, a higher percentage if you can see and hear it. But the highest percentage is when you actually have it in the hand, have some physical element and talk with others about it. That's the highest effect you can have, and something Playmobil.Pro can definitely support.
And you're working on a smaller set also for people that don't want the full box and then want to try it out, or maybe expand it to their friends or start it to a set of colleagues. You're working on a smaller set that you're about to launch, right?
Yes, exactly. So the basic set, that's our premium product, and it reaches a higher amount of people working on. But we also received the feedback that a lot of freelancers are working with this, or a lot of one-to-one sessions in terms of psychology, or in terms of HR and team building. So we're working on a smaller set, on a starter set, so that the customer have the possibility to start learning how Playmobil.Pro works, what kind of possibility it has. Do you want to have a first look on it?
Oh my God, this is a world premiere, of course.
Okay, let me. Still prototyping.
That's the best way to show it.
Okay. So this is how it might look. So it will be smaller cases.
All right, that looks so cool.
Exactly. With less triggers, less accessories, as you know it from
And
the
also less
basic set.
kilograms to carry, right?
Exactly. But a good way. I mean, for 6 to 8 people,
Mhm.
it's a perfect tool to get to know Playmobil.Pro. And if you have a larger group, then and you need
Yes.
more accessories and more stationery, then the
Yes.
basic set
Maybe
is
that's for coaches or for very small groups, small teams, 3, 4 people that
yeah,
want to play with that. It's a quick starter tool.
exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
That's
And this is
cool. That
how.
looks so cool. I cannot wait to try one out.
Yeah, definitely. So we're trying end of January, beginning of February,
Uh-huh.
but we do have some issues to clarify, but hopefully
Well,
comes out
as in
soon.
any design thinking process, you
Uh,
keep iterating and you just decide when you stop because you could be iterating forever.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Okay, that's so cool. Thank you so much for sharing with us this world premiere of the new set that is coming out, and that will definitely be in the hand of a lot of practitioners that want to try out those techniques. And I think that you have much more to share, but we don't want to take much more of your time. I'm very happy that you will be coming to Madrid for the initial training for Pro Play. So first, I wanted to thank you so much for attending, and second, I wanted to give you the opportunity to give a message to the people that is thinking about trying Playmobil.Pro, the people that maybe are saying, well, is this for me? Is this can I really use this in a professional setting? So what can we tell to that people? Because the people that is coming to the training, they are already convinced and they're ready to use it in their companies and with their clients, and they're eager to meet you. But what can we say to those people that maybe they are exploring and watching this video and say, well, can I really make something useful out of this game?
Yeah, yeah. So I think for all human related topics,
Mm-hmm.
Playmobil.Pro can be a really, really nice
Mm-hmm.
supportive modeling kit. I think it boost your creativity, as we said, like when you're trying to build up something. First it will be like mind-blowing, like how many pieces are there and what should I do, but it's a process, like looking for the right pieces, and so it's a nice process. And what I could recommend is go to our LinkedIn page, Playmobil.Pro.
Yes.
There's a huge community, and ask questions, like get in touch with people who already work with Playmobil.Pro. Ask them for their positive and negative feedback, and they're brutal honest, and
Yes.
this is something I could really recommend
Yes,
for
it's
first
great to
step.
have a community of practitioners and to share best practices and see what other people from all around the world are using the Playmobil.Pro kit for. So engaging with others is always something that is enrich everyone. The people that ask the questions and everyone who is answering, who's also reflecting on those themes. So I'm sure that you have many more things up your sleeve after this basic set that you're going to launch, but I'm not going to press on that. I'm just very happy to have you here in February for the Pro Play training. Again, thank you so much for your time on sharing this. I believe it's the first of many conversations that we'll have around these topics, and sharing the news to everyone that watches in the we work a lot in the Spanish speaking world, so
Mhm.
I know that people from all over from Latin America and Spain will be watching this video, but also for the rest of Europe and the world. And I think that it's a great thing that you are using all these years that you have watched and evolved with kids, learning how they play, how they engage with the
Mhm.
toys, how they spark their imagination, and put that into adults, because that is so much needed.
Mhm. Mhm.
And getting all this, how is 60 years that you were doing Playmobil? How old
Yeah,
is
since 1974.
it? From since 1974. So many years using all your knowledge to engage imagination from the kids, and let them create their fantasies. I remember when I was a kid, I wanted the pirates
Yeah,
and the
sure.
castle. They were like, I was set to get those. And to be able, as an adult, to be able to play and also get results. So work can be fun and productive at the same time. It's something wonderful, and couldn't be possible without these tools. So thank you so much, Frank, for being part of making this possible, and we are eager to see you here in February.
Thank you very much again for invitation to the call, to invitation to Madrid. Really looking forward to it, and have some fun and have some Playmobil.Pro session with a nice smile, I would say.
Okay, thank you, Frank.
Thank you. All
Bye-bye.
right, great.